Good morning and welcome to my video on Cybertruck economics. I want to go over a few reasons today why I think it makes really good economic sense to get the Cybertruck, which is why I placed my order yesterday. First up, I want to talk about the price of the vehicle itself. At $39,900 for the base model, this thing is priced right in the heart of F150 or Chevy Silverado territory. I think that Ford, GM, and Ram need to be taking this really seriously. The main reason for this is for $39,000, you actually get a very capable truck. I know the base model doesn't come with four-wheel drive, but I have a feeling that because the weight distribution on this is likely to be way better than what you can get in a traditional pickup, four-wheel drive might not be quite as necessary as it is with the traditional pickup that you might buy today.
When we're talking about value, it's also important to see how much an equivalent truck would buy from a traditional competitor. So let's take a look at this F150. I've configured it with the 6.5 foot box and the Super Crew, which is similar to what the Tesla Cybertruck has, and I've gone with the 300A package just to keep the price low. It's difficult to pick an exact comparison because a lot of the features are not available on an F150 XLT, like the big touch screen, or you can't get an onboard air compressor or air suspension on an F150. But the 300A is probably the basic of what people would choose that still comes with kind of power windows and a Sync 3 and things like that. The engine or the powertrain, you can't get the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost with the crew cab in a 6.5 foot box. So I've just left it with the V8, which is the cheapest option at this point. And we've gone with four-wheel drive. And the reason I've done four-wheel drive here instead of rear-wheel drive like the Tesla is because I've owned an F-150 and trying to drive that in the winter in Canada is tough. In terms of pricing, I'm just starting it from a base area here. The price that you're going to get is probably not going to be that suggested price. You're going to be looking at a discount probably right away. It shouldn't be too difficult to get a $5,000 discount. So I'm going to start with that. And then you see the price there is $39,612. I've removed the interest rate and I'm not considering taxes right now because probably taxes and interest rates are going to be comparable whether you get the Ford or the Tesla. So $39,612 versus $39,900, we've basically got the exact same price. So taking a look at what we've done so far, we got the cost $39,900 for the Cybertruck, $39,612 for the F-150. In terms of maintenance, I don't think this is as big of a deal as most people make it out to be. I've just gone through the recommended maintenance schedules for both vehicles. Obviously there is no maintenance schedule for the Cybertruck yet, but I based it off the Model 3 because they've been steadily reducing the amount of required maintenance as time has gone on. And I used the F-150 maintenance schedule from their website. Total annual estimated maintenance, $145 for the Cybertruck, $270 for the F-150. That is based on 12,000 miles per year. Or if you speak kilometers, that's about 20,000 kilometers per year. So all in all, yes, there is a savings with the Cybertruck. It does definitely make sense. But it's not like the F-150 is ridiculous. It's not 10 times more or anything like that. So far, we're very similar.
Third, I want to talk about ongoing operating costs for fuel. I had an F-150 which I got rid of only very recently, and I was spending about $200 a month on fuel.
I'm going to pop back over to our spreadsheet here and I'll show you what fuel would look like with the Cybertruck. I'm going to make a couple of assumptions just because there's some things we don't know. And I'm going to start with battery size. I'm going to estimate that the battery is 100 kilowatt hours. And we know that the base truck has a range of 400 kilometers. That is 250 miles. So I know that I drive 20,000 kilometers per year. Again, that's 12,000 miles. In order to figure out how many total charges we're going to do in a year, we're going to take the number of kilometers I drive in a year and divide it by the number of kilometers per charge. That gives us a total of 50 charges per year. And now we can take the cost of electricity multiplied by the number of charges. So we're going to go T17 multiplied by, and you can see I've already put in the cost of electricity in my area, so times P25 multiplied by the battery size, which is 100 kilowatt hours, T12. That's a total yearly electricity cost of $325. If we want that monthly, we can go J25 divided by 12 is $27 a month. I know in the 3 years I owned a truck, I was spending $200 a month on fuel on average. So over the course of a year, that's $2,400, and I've based that on a fuel price of just over $3 per gallon, or 82.5 cents per liter. So monthly fuel cost, we can take our $2,400 and divide it by 12, and we get $200 per month. So finally, we have something which is actually a fairly big difference. We're spending nearly 10 times less on Cybertruck electricity compared to fuel for the F-150. Let's put all of this together. We're going to go over monthly payment plan for the vehicles themselves, and I'm just going to ignore taxes here and interest, because it's not really applicable. It doesn't really change much between these two. And we're just going to do what's probably considered a very long loan by some people, but we're going to do 7 years. So you can see the monthly cost for the Cybertruck is just a few dollars more. I'm going to put the maintenance as a monthly cost as well. And I'm going to also include the monthly fuel cost. And we're going to get a total here of total monthly cost of ownership for the Cybertruck is $514. And for the F-150, we are at $694. That's a fairly big difference. That's a 35% higher operating cost. I think that that's enough to make most people strongly consider the Cybertruck instead of the F-150.
Before I finish, I do want to talk about the design quickly. When I first saw this, I thought, is that real? They can't be serious. It was shocking, and I know Elon Musk warned us that this would be different, that the design wouldn't be maybe what people were expecting, and it certainly was not what I was expecting. But after looking at it for a few hours, I rewatched the video a few times, and I looked at some photos the next day. I really did come around to it, and I actually think it looks pretty cool. And I have a suspicion that more people are going to come around to it as well. When a Tesla Model 3 came out, people kind of discounted it. They didn't like the front end. They thought it looked like a fish, and I see those cars everywhere. That hasn't been a barrier to the uptake of the Tesla Model 3. Also, people are saying that Ford and GM and Ram are not worried, and that after seeing the unveil, they can breathe a big sigh of relief. I think that would be a really big mistake, just because the economics of this thing makes so much sense. If Ford or GM or Ram are able to bring out an electric truck in the next few years, it's only going to be better because of the Cybertruck announcement. It's going to be priced more competitively and have better standard features. And really, for everybody, that's fantastic. So thank you for watching my video. I hope you found that interesting. Please subscribe. This was kind of a different video to what I've done in the past, but I think I'd like to do more of these. This was a lot of fun. So thank you. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps me out.